Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Americans watching this are listening to the commentary. You'd have to be living under a rock in America to not recognize the disintegration of our sovereignty at the southern border over the last 2 years. Got 6 million illegals processed in some manner into our country, 1.5 million known criminal runner gotaways, and the border law enforcement is so overwhelmed, estimates easily state that that number is doubled of unknown and uncounted criminal runner gotaways. All told, you're talking about 9 million people rolling into our country since President Biden was inaugurated. Secretary Mayorkas' failure is difficult to calculate the impact upon our country, our entire country. Generational trauma the man has brought upon our country. My colleagues across the aisle this is your Baghdad Bob moment, when you witness clearly what the truth is, what everyone across the country recognizes as the disintegration of our southern border and horrific impact upon our country, and yet you drone on and on about how great things are. Blame everything on Trump. Good Lord, for years. And yes, the ranking member has a right to introduce a government study to the record, but the insinuation was that former Secretary Wolf served illegally. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to respond to that. Mr. Wolf, I know you very well. Did you serve honorably and legally as Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, sir?
I believe I did. I was asked to serve as that acting secretary by the president. I took my oath seriously. I'm very proud of the way that I led the department. Lawyers can argue over the order of succession about the acting secretary before me, but I think what's clear is simply being confirmed doesn't make you capable of doing the job.
Thank you for your response, sir, and I apologize on behalf of the committee for that insinuation. I think it was ugly, it was tainted by agenda, and over the course of the next several months, perhaps they can develop a new script than just attacking the Trump administration, because we're going to expose what has happened to our country over the last 2 years. Mr. Scott, would you explain to the committee in America how Secretary Mayorkas has intentionally shifted migrant numbers through the CBP-1 app to promote the appearance of decreasing illegal crossings?
As we discussed earlier, the numbers that are being reported publicly they're selective. They've been focusing on the southwest border only, and we need to focus on total encounters, or what OFO calls as inadmissibles. If you go onto cbp.gov, their website, it's a nightmare, but you can slowly sort some of this stuff out.
Yes, sir. So to focus on the CBP-1 app, is it true that there's virtually no parameters disqualifying an applicant from applying for parole through the CBP-1 app?
That is my understanding.
That's my understanding as well. Mr. Wolf, in your opinion, sir, is the increased use of the CBP-1 app for parole application consistent with the app's original purpose?
No, not the original purpose.
Would you clarify that for America, please?
Again, it was for forwarders, it was for industry on how to facilitate that trade across the border. It was for boating licenses.
It was for legal commerce, to speed legal commerce through ports of entry, and yet now it's being used for undocumented, legally identified as inadmissible illegal migrants coming through our ports of entry using the CBP-1 app, and they're granted parole. Is that your understanding?
That's my understanding of how it's currently being utilized.
And how would that be? Would you clarify how that's in violation of the law?
Well, again, that's not how the CBP-1 app was originally. And again, it's not how you allow individuals to come in, paroling them in. There's so many different exemptions of using that CBP-1 app. If you can't access it, they allow you into the country. And so it's another smoke and mirrors of how to bring in individuals, again, that have no legal right to be into the country, whether you parole them in or put them into the asylum system, the end result is all the same. So we can talk about the different ways. The end result is that they are released into American communities, and that is what's fueling this crisis.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf. Mr. Chairman, my time has expired. I yield.
Gentleman's time has expired.